Sail to heaven, to heaven, oh yeah. Sail to heaven, to heaven, oh yeah. Welcome to another horrid, terrible, bloody, despicable episode of the apocalypse. It appears the plan was to unveil Goebbels and the couch fucker today. But before I forget, since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide. Your humble guide. Nicholas, so good to see you once a bloody game. Yes, it appears they tried to recreate the moment, the dark, dim, romantic photo of Goebbels. It was Stevie's big moment. To relive a moment of the religion he believes in. Cold. Class. Nazism. And more. Much more. Anyway, let's begin this because I'm very tired and it's very late. Sony just announced a $50 price increase on all PlayStation 5 consoles in the US due to Trump's tariffs. Great job, Donald. Sony. So people notice shit like that when game consoles go up another $50, $100. They look for where to blame. We all know who's to blame. And let's say it didn't even affect their business. They would say it did anyway and raise prices. So, and you know, we saw, I read you a headline, I don't know, a week or two ago, another game console, major game console had to raise prices because of Donnie's tariffs again. He's destroying the empire, son. You're watching it happen. Financially. Here's Donnie on windmills and solar. Any state that has built and relied on windmills and solar for power are seeing record-breaking increases in electricity and energy costs. The scam of the century. We will not approve wind or farmer-destroying solar. The days of stupidity are over in the USA, MAGA. No, Donnie's just trying to tell you, the oil men, they give me the money, the coal men, not the wind and solar people. So down with them. More coal and gas. Unfortunately, the demand is getting out of control. It's been out of control for decades. Just in America. For gas. So, if you go with the dictator's idea, Rubes, talking to you, of getting rid of wind and solar, you're going to have a lot less electricity available. Therefore, it will be more expensive. That's simple. Terrible idea. Just leave it alone, Donnie. It's generating electricity for people. It's necessary, or the windmills wouldn't be up and the solar panels wouldn't be up. It's necessary. And, you know, honestly, there should have been a law passed years ago where everyone had to have solar panels on your roof. So if you build a new house after a certain whatever date, whenever the law is enacted, it would have to have a certain amount of solar panels on the roof, depending on the size of the house, you know. You would need some type of solar array on your roof. The bigger the house, the more you could have. That should have been law to take pressure off the grid. Because now we've got dystopian, you know, nightmare Blade Runner data centers that, you know, are going to take up blocks and blocks, eat up all of the town's power and water. More demand, and that's a big fucking demand. Millions of gallons of water. God knows how much electricity. I don't even want to think about it. That ain't going to make your prices cheaper, son. But demand's been going up forever. More things get built, more electronic devices. Now we got electric cars, which I'm finding are awesome. Not Tesla, but other ones. The demand's just going to keep going up. So you get rid of a major source of generation. No more electricity that's easily available. Price goes way up. Already going up. But again, Donnie takes money from oil and coal, so fuck everybody else. This moment here, this is Stephen Miller trying to relive a Nazi moment from the past. I can tell even by the lighting. So they brought out Miller, the couch fucker, drunk-ass Hegseth, as if these are likable people and the public is gonna, react well to them. Always a mistake to let them loose to talk to the public. It never goes well. And Stevie took advantage of his big moment, reliving a Goebbels moment from back in the day. And he gave his speech sincerely. And boy, he would have fit in perfect in the Reich. Adolf is real proud of the modern Goebbels here. Stephen Miller dismisses the massive protests in D.C. against the lawless Trump regime, calling them elderly white hippies, that's a quote, who are not part of the city and never have been, that's a quote. And I have more context, more of the quote, as we go. So, Nazi or modern Goebbels, the ghoul that is Stephen Miller, decides who are real citizens, who are real members of the city, of the society there, and who are not. Okay. That kind of sounds Nazi-ish to me. Demonizing segments of the population in such a manner. Sounds kind of Nazi-ish. Especially when you have troops with machine guns deployed on the streets of the people that pay for those troops and machine guns. You cunts. Yeah, I know exactly what Stevie was doing. You don't know these things probably because you don't know history like I do. And you don't think about it like I do. But what you're witnessing, a lot of these moments with Hegseth, Miller, Donnie, Leon when he was around, they're trying to relive famous moments of the Reich. Pictures we've all seen. This is one of those moments that you're witnessing. This is a game to these people. And if they love the Reich so much, maybe they'd like to get on the front lines. Wherever the fight is. Like a real soldier. Oh no, they would never do that, son. Oh no. Oh no. So Stevie having his Goebbels moment, and boy, was he hamming it up. Vance and Hegseth leaving Union Station to lots of boos. Yes, people were booing the shit out of them. When Vance started walking towards one of the restaurants in Union Station, you heard a guy, and you heard him over everyone. Oh, here comes the couch fucker. Hey, why don't you go fuck a couch? Over and over again. It was beautiful. Oh, here's what it looks like in case you're wondering. Let me turn the brightness up here. Union Station, D.C., the big, Reich presentation, the big piece of theater. Because Reichs are all about theater. Adolf was a true actor. Adolf was so dramatic with his speeches, you remember? And that worked back then. Now it would be too over the top, even though Donnie's over the top in many ways. But back then, that kind of theater in front of crowds was very effective. If you were good at it, Hitler was good at it. Donnie's not good at it, by the way. He is no Hitler at oratory, not even close. Hitler was actually good at oratory. I must give the man that. He knew how to put on a piece of theater for the people. That's why it was so effective in a lot of ways. Plus, the machine gun hand that kept it all in check. Like you're witnessing here, being slowly, rolled out before you. Not that slowly, 2 cities, major cities, and counting. And the military went along, son. And I hate saying that. But look, there's a line, and there's two types of humans on this planet right now. They're on one side of it or the other. Right now, every military man that has not laid the machine gun down and said, okay, Bolf, I'll go point my gun at American citizens. Okay. They've crossed the line. They are now on the other side. I cannot join them. I cannot walk that path with them. Just like with all of you, a lot of people mad at me over the years for things I've said regarding these issues, Donnie and the Reich and all of it. I cannot walk that path with you of concentration camps, roundups, mass men with machine guns. Can't do it, son. I don't care how you justify it. Fucking irrelevant to me, meaningless to me. I cannot walk that path with you. Why? Because it will cost me everything, son. That's why. You may be willing to pay everything for Donnie's shitbags and the Reich. I am not. So yes, the big presentation, the big theater at Union Station with the guys with machine guns standing around it all. I don't know if you noticed that part. Trump claims he solved the war between Azerbaijan and Albania. He meant Azerbaijan and Armenia. That shows how much, how concerned Donnie is. And this was a phone interview where he said this. Just to give you the source. Just so you don't think I'm pulling out of my ass. Why would I waste my fucking time doing that? I'm not part of the right-wing grift/terror machine. I don't get checks from Russia or the RNC or some public relations firm that just doesn't give a fuck. So yes, Albania, and you know Albania is a fuck up because no one cares about Albania. Oh my God. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that no one cares about that country, unfortunately, for Albania. And if you went there, you would understand what I'm saying. It's in rough shape. In an unbelievable moment when asked how to justify massive troop presence at Union Station. Yes, this is the scene, people. Miller, Hegseth, the couch fucker, with troops behind them, son. Do you see those fatigues and hats? Let me blow it up. Well, I don't want to cut the troops out, but is this normal at Union Station in D.C. during the military takeover of D.C.? Martial law, in effect. Can you fucking believe it? Did you think we'd get here? Oh, we're going to go so much further. What I've been telling you before the election and now and for the past 10 years. The danger that this orange thing presents to all of us. Don't matter what you believe. Don't matter what team you're on. What your politics are. Don't matter what you believe. Don't matter what I believe. All that matters is what these cunts believe. Because you gave them the keys. And they are going to implement it upon you. They already have. And they will continue to. This is on your streets, son. This little piece of theater with troops. And Stephen Miller, the pure Nazi. Having his Goebbels moment. I know you didn't think it was possible, any of this stuff. It's too dramatic and crazy and satanic and sociopathic and Nazi. Right. You're dead on. So why is it happening? Because it's what they believe. They are the minority crowd in charge. They hold the keys to all the doors. Our society will go where they want it to. It already has, my God. There's troops surrounding them as they speak. That's all you need to understand. It doesn't matter what the law is, what the Constitution says, what a judge says. Doesn't matter what you believe, what I believe. All that matters is what they fucking believe. So when you hear me say all this outlandish shit, it's not because I believe it. It's not because it's my religion, Nazism. It's because it's theirs. It's what they believe. It's where they, the Reich, are taking you. Again, look at it. There's the ghoul, the drunk, and the couch fucker with troops on our fucking streets. It's what they believe. That whole Reich thing that you saw in 1933 to 1945, that's what they believe in. They want that again. I didn't make this up. I don't want this to be reality. It's their reality. It's what they've made their lives about. Therefore, since you dumbasses that have your name on this gave them the fucking keys, now it's all over and we go into 1933 town. And no one's gonna like it. Don't think you will, son. Only people that are gonna like it for a while are these sociopaths at the top until they fall. But we go in there, we are already there. We got Stevie trying to relive a Goebbels moment. I could tell the second I saw the whole scene, the picture, the lighting, everything. This is not normal. Having the Secretary of Defense, some ghoul named Stephen Miller, I don't even know what his position is, but something else I need to tell you, he's steering a lot of this ship. He's the voice in Donnie's ear oftentimes. He's the one instituting a lot of policy. Remember last term, Stevie thought up the let's take their children away forever as a deterrent and make it impossible to find them. Another way to describe Stevie is lake fodder. And that last sentence I just said about the children, that's all that need be said. That's who's giving this speech. Vice President, Secretary of Defense, and I don't know what's a demon from the bowels of hell. Goebbels reborn. What a piece of theater this was, them in their glorious Reich moment. A devastating new report just dropped, and it's embarrassing for Trump. Exactly 0 companies have moved all their manufacturing to the U.S. since Trump took office. This is from CNN with the big 0. And look, there's a reason the companies shipped the factories overseas so many years ago. It was to save a lot of money. So if they move it all back, they lose a lot of money. And prices for these things, phones, TVs, etc., go way the fuck up. So that's why there's no rush to move it back here. Plus, there's workers' rights here, there's labor standards, there's environmental standards. There's none in those other places. Where they ship the jobs to, not got to worry about, pesky human emotions or safety or anything like that. That's the part that people don't talk about. So yeah, it's no surprise that none of the factories are coming back. They can't afford to, and if you go to the store and your Nikes used to be $150 or $200, my God, we would never pay that in the 80s. Anyone who had $150 shoes, man, they were envied. Nikes were 80, 90, 100 back when I was a super young man. Now I guess they're $250 for the ones you want. When that pair of Nikes cost $550, $350, $450. What are you going to do? If we would have just kept the system in America, everything would have, kept pace. Wages, it all would have kept pace. Instead, we shipped it to they shipped it to the third world to save, trillions, pennies on the dollar they're paying as wages. Now to try and just reverse all that in a year or 4 years or whatever? Devastating. Don't worry, they're going to get a free labor force together. All the people they round up and throw in the various concentration camps, they'll make them work and do those types of things. Again, Stephen Miller, the ghoul, having his Goebbels moment. And if you think I'm being dramatic when I say that these people aren't trying to relive those moments, I'm sorry you don't know them. Union Station in D.C. again. All these, this is pure this is pure Reich propaganda. It just, when I hear him say this, or when I look at this whole scenario with the troops, him saying this, I feel like I'm living in 1934 in Germany or something. All these demonstrators that you see out here in recent days, all these elderly white hippies, they're not part of the city and never have been. Yeah, Nazis don't like liberals. That's why Adolf locked them up first. That's why this Reich is going after liberals. So who are the good guys? Not part of the city and never have been. Well, I bet a lot of things were said like very similar to this about Jews in Germany back in the 30s. We're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old. That's what was said about the trade unionists and the liberals and the socialists and the communists in the 30s in Germany. Here we have modern incarnation of Goebbels talking about elderly white hippies, and we know what the word hippie means. In this context, well, they're liberals, that means evil. That equates evil. Hitler was a socialist, right? That's what Leon, that's what Greasy Pete, that's what men like Miller have told you over the decades. No, Hitler was a guy like Donnie, a dictator. The first people he arrested were the socialists. Assholes. And again, literal inversion of reality. Here we are again with a bunch of right-wing nationalists, right-wing white nationalists. That's the real ideology. Anything other than that is of Satan, according to the Ghoul and Donnie, etc. Who they target first? Liberals and minorities. Sounds real familiar, doesn't it? We're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old. Wow, who the fuck is Stephen Miller to talk about people like that? Right out in the open in Union Station while troops are standing around. Incredible. Total Goebbels moment. You're witnessing what it was like in the 30s in Germany with this shit. Literally. Restaurant owners tell the Washington Post that sending troops into civilian areas seems to have scared off their customers. Yep, like I said yesterday, like the reports are showing, guys with machine guns patrolling the streets as if it's a goddamn war zone. That kind of kills the mood. You know, for couples that want to go out, have a little romance, you know, candlelight dinner and shit. Oh shit, guy in fatigues with a machine gun. Like it's fucking, you know, Israel or something. No, we don't do that here, son. At least we didn't used to. Till Rubery, till the cult, till decades of voting for putting your own foot up your ass. I know, you thought you'd do it again. You'd vote evil. You'd vote to put your own foot up your ass again. and just walk away. No, not this time. Now the bills do, sorry. So yeah, guys with machine guns walking around like it's a third world country, dictatorship, North Korea or something. That doesn't lend to people wanting to go out and have a good time and spend their money and feel relaxed. They're worried they might get shot or something. Here's video of Vance being booed as he leaves the Shake Shack at Union Station. This is the guy who thinks people don't deserve law and order in their own community, Vance says of some guy that was booing him, talking shit on him. This is what it looks like. First of all, Donnie's a convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, defamer, fraud, traitor to his nation, staged a coup, stole 3,000 classified documents, and you voted for him anyway. You don't care about crime and law and order, any of that. So let's put that to bed right away. J.D. Vance changed his name several times. We all know when people do that, they're running from something. It's a fact. It came out that JD allegedly had sex with underage people in hotel rooms, and the hotels were named, and the person that made the allegations said they had a witness. JD sent a cease and desist a couple weeks after millions of people saw that information, and I mean millions. Said he would sue if the stuff wasn't taken down. It's never been taken down. JD has not sued. It's been months. The person alleged that JD changed his name several times and left several towns because of his pedo activities. Again, a cease and desist was sent, saying, I'm going to sue your ass if you don't take this shit down. The stuff was never taken down. JD did not sue. It's been months. These are the people that talk about other people who are talking shit on the military takeover of their city and their country. They don't want law and order. The liberals and Democrats don't want law and order. Right, Rubes? Those are the talking points they gave you. No, you voted for a convicted felon. Fuck off. You don't get to talk about law and order. You don't give a fuck about law and order. You've proven it. And JD, I just told you the allegations, and I just told you that JD did not sue, and millions of people saw these allegations by a reporter. That should tell you all you need to know, right, son? That's the guy talking about other people don't want law and order as do a military takeover of their own fellow citizens. The military, J.D. Vance, Hegseth, Miller, Donnie. Anyone who isn't down with that, oh, well, they don't want law and order, says the guy who works for a convicted felon. Says the guy with credible, what's the word I'm looking for? Credible discrepancies regarding minors. Credible allegations regarding minors. Changed his name twice. Here's the new Gavin $100 bill. We're going to start printing these up next week. Gavin for the $100 bill. I'm in favor of it. Move over, Benjamin. Lightning experiment guy. There's a new $100 governor. That's in quotes, the word governor. I don't know why. In town, GCN. Again, it's got all the elements. He's just doing Donnie so well. Or sociopath. Or Rube speak. Whatever you want to call it. And yeah, why not put Gavin on the 100? It's the problem. This is a cartoon that someone drew of cross-eyed Patel and Miss Bondi. Patel is redacting the Epstein files and Miss Bondi is shredding some of the files. And that is your reality. We now know for a fact when Miss Bondi was bragging about, don't worry, the files are on my desk. I have 1,000 FBI agents going through them. What they were going through them for is to get Trump's name out of there. That's the part of the story she didn't tell you. So this is what's really going on. Patel has seen this info. Bondi's seen this info. They ain't talking about it. In fact, they said it doesn't exist. Remember Bongino and Patel, they came out. They did a few shows. Told the Rubes it doesn't exist, when a week before they were saying it was on Bondi's desk. That's reality, this picture you're seeing, including the cross-eyed part. Horrifying, by the way. This is a portrait someone made, and I believe it's in the White House, and, you know, they keep saying it's a sunset, but I'm sorry, son. This is a picture of the Antichrist after America is burning like Rome, walking away from the flames. That's what it looks like to me. And this portrait is just totally apropos of this moment in history, who he is. It's the apocalypse, all that. And I'm serious. That's the scary part. That it's all really happening. And you've probably seen this before. Yeah, I don't know about you. When I look at the painting, I don't get a sense that that's a sunset behind him. I get a sense of that's the White House in America burnt to the fucking ground, because that's what he's here to do. As Donnie walks away golden. And I've thought about that scenario many times. Is that what Donnie's going to do? Allow some attack to take place against us by Russia, China, who knows? And he'll just walk away and let it all happen. And he would have left the door wide open for him. And he would have left a vulnerable, broken, desperate America. I really wonder if that's going to happen. Donnie would be the perfect traitor to do that. Yeah, when I look at that, I'm sorry, what I see is everything burning behind him and him walking away. What I see is the Antichrist. What a perfect portrait for this moment, for the end. To show us all what's about to happen, what is happening. We're watching it fucking burn down, and, you know, at the speed of fucking light. But one day it's really going to be burning down. Via attack, major event of nature, earthquake. We're going down. I don't know if the whole landmass is going down, but certain areas are... Big events will happen over this next 4 years. And who knows how long it could go after that. Again, I feel like the sense of urgency, it'll be over before the even 4 years is up. And some things I read, but, you know, again, Hitler lasted 12. I don't know. Donnie's already had 4. There was a fucking plague that stopped the entire world. Killed millions. So could that have been part of this end portion? And we are on the latter half. And why is it always described in halves? So often in the stories. 3.5. I'm sorry, again, 2025, we are in the shallow waters, waist deep in dystopia, troops on the streets. Miller giving little Goebbels speeches with troops behind him now. That's how far it's gone. Troops rounding up the homeless. Economy fucked. A con man and grifter in charge, who's owned by Russia. And someone made this. Just like someone made that goat with the $100 bills wrapped around it with Donnie's face on it in Trump We Trust instead of In God We Trust. And the goat is very significant in what we're talking about. The occult. We all know what it represents. And I know what was meant by that statue or craft piece, whatever you want to call it. And it didn't mean greatest of all time. Not for a fucking second. And the name Trump replacing the name God was not a mistake on that thing. I told you one day he might ask you to worship him. You'd be worshiping the devil by proxy. What the devil's always wanted, son. Always. Meanwhile, I showed you a picture a ways back of a goat that someone made wrapped in $100 bills with Donnie's face on the bills and In Trump We Trust written on the bills. That was not a mistake, and it wasn't done in jest or in lightheartedness. It was done for a serious reason. Because it's what they believe in. Do you understand that? Do you understand the gravity of that? The seriousness of that? Again, it doesn't matter what you believe, I believe, the law, constitute, none of it. What they believe is all that matters. For that is what we will suffer, son. Stephen Miller on protesters in Union Station. Again, the same. I mean, look at them. They got all the great Goebbels type picture. I mean, look, they literally tried to relive that moment in that picture. It's all over the internet. Go find it. They have no connections to the city, says who? Himmler? Goebbels? Who the fuck is Stephen Miller? They have no families they're raising in this city. How does this ghoul know that? They have no one that they're sending to school in this city. They have no jobs in this city. How does this ghoul know that? They have no connections to this community at all, according to the Reich. And again, I imagine back in 33, 34... these same things being said about liberals, socialists, communists, and the Jews. How do you say these people are just, they don't belong to the community? Who the fuck is he to say that? And how would he know any of these things? He doesn't. He pulled them straight out of his ass. Unbelievable. We have to witness this. And again, troops in the background, son. You're in dystopia already. It's not over the horizon or something. You understand that, right? I hope so. When we have Miller reenacting Goebbels moments at Union Station with troops standing behind him, it's fucking over. Remember Ashley St. Clair? She's explaining on video. She's about to get evicted, but some company gave her 10 G's to mention them on camera, and then that's what she did. That's what she has to do to keep the roof. Again, ladies, when you have children with Leon, this is what you can look forward to. Him trying not to pay you. And if you dare sue, then you get cut off completely. Yeah, she's about to be evicted, she says. So she had to do this ad, which she did before the video. And then a little bit of the video played. I wanted to see the rest of it, but I couldn't find it. And I imagine the reason you can't find it is she's probably charging to see whatever she does on camera, some podcast or something. So yeah, she briefly talked about how that 10 G's is the only reason she might not get evicted. Again, she had Leon's child, the richest man in the world. He can't cry poor, son. He is the last man on earth. You want to be the big man and be on the cover of magazines with the title richest man in the world, right? Okay. All these women you IVF knock up, whatever you do, you fucking freak. Could you at least make sure they have a roof over their head? For your child's sake. I know you don't care about the girls. I know what you're really into, Leon. It's just sad to watch. And I got no love for this woman. She was like a right-wing influencer, grifter, just a joke. And the reason Leon's treating her specifically so badly is she's Jewish. At least people tell me that last name. I didn't know that back when I found out. So, for Nazi street cred, Leon, remember, he denied the relationship with her, denied the baby, told her to keep it a secret forever. Why? Because having a half-Jewish son, that doesn't go along with Leon's, Nazi image. White supremacist from South Africa raised on Nazism. It doesn't fit. And that's always kind of funny about people that hate Jews or other races. If one of the women looks good, they'll sleep with them. Then they'll go back, to their buddies in the Klan or the Nazis and act like they down. You know what I mean? Go back to being a racist. And, here we have an example. Because, again, the core tenet of Nazism, we do not like Jews. Core tenet. So she didn't go along, and the child did not go along with Leon's Nazi street cred. Leon did not even sign the birth certificate. Remember that. The woman had to go on social media to get his attention, like, yo, you knocked me up here. You going to help, support me and the child? Since you're the richest man in the world, cunt. There shouldn't be one woman turning to social media because Leon had an IVF baby with her, whatever the case may be. He's the rich. He's got allegedly 400 billion, son. Could you even spend that in a lifetime? If I had 400 billion and I happen to be knocking all these ladies up, they'd never have to worry about anything the rest of their fucking life. And I wouldn't even notice the money missing. Do you understand how rich that fat pasty cunt is? None of the women he knocked up should be on camera being like, I'm about to be evicted. None of them should have to sue him. This shouldn't be the trailer park. Look, there's a lot of men in the world that have a legitimate point when they cry poor. They have no money. Leon is literally on this entire planet, son, the very last man who has a legitimate right to cry poor. He's the richest man on earth. 400 billion again. Really shows what kind of person is. It ain't like the rest of these dudes out there barely scraping by or have, not a pot to piss in and are crying poor. No, it ain't like that. This guy could buy countries. And he's got women that he knocked up in situations like this. So pathetic. I can't even express how pathetic. Richest man in the world. In 2024, Trump flat out admits that he wants Venezuela to collapse so he can take their oil. Yes, it's a speech he gave. He just sent 4,000 troops down there. So what is the Reich's goal, class, when they say they want to annex Canada, Mexico, all the way down to the northern tip of South America, Greenland? What is the goal, class? The stealing of the resources, minerals, oil, gold, whatever they got, lumber of Canada, Greenland, Mexico, owning the Panama, controlling that. You must pay Caesar to get through. Owning the Suez to extort Egypt and Europe. That was Stephen Miller that admitted that on the Signal app chat. So just like Adolf Hitler, we're not even in the same position that Germany was in right before World War II. They were still recovering from World War I. They got devastated. We were fine. Empire humming along. Yet these cunts are so greedy, Donnie, Leon, Thale, etc. They still need to steal the resources from Canada, Mexico, Greenland, etc., own the canals. Because what they're grifting already, Greasy Pete, all the welfare, your money that he's gotten, Leon, same thing, Altman, all of them, is not enough, son. They want more. Why? Because they're of Satan. That's why. That's simple. So even though it's humming along, even though they grifted like a motherfucker, they want more. What does that mean? Send the military into our neighbor's territory, annex it, steal their resources, just like Adolf did. And they talk about it openly. How would you like your shit taken, son? You wouldn't like that very much. I wouldn't blame you. That's what we're talking about here. If only it mattered. State percentage of electricity from wind. Iowa, 76%. Kansas, 59%. Oklahoma, 55%. South Dakota, 67%. Iowa, it's almost all their power is from wind. They're in the middle of the country in the flatlands, so I guess, The other countries all over half. South Dakota, almost 70% from wind. So if Donnie takes that all away, what the fuck are these rubes going to do? That's the danger, rubes, of voting for rubery. Of thinking the way you do. And now the danger is realized over everything. The empire, this planet, everything. It will never be the same. We can never go back. It will be horrific. It already is. So yeah, if you take wind or solar both away, what the hell are these states going to do? Iowa, for fuck's sake, 76%. Again, we need as many, power generating devices as possible in this nation. This is the nation of fat and greed. And, I ain't no better. I'll run the air conditioner all goddamn day if I can. You know what I'm saying? Greatest invention ever in mankind's history, air conditioning. Imagine, ladies, again, putting your makeup on to go to work or a night out or whatever you like to do, and inside your house is 85% humidity and it's 102 outside. Wouldn't work very well, would it? Nah. The Ninth Circuit permits the Trump admin to terminate TPS for Honduras, Nicaragua, and Nepal now. So that's temporary protected status. This population includes 50,000 people who have been here legally since 1998. They either have to leave or they will get deported. Again, another 50,000 people that have been here for fucking decades, had protected status, feel like, they're part of America now. They've put roots down. They've got the homes, they got the cars, they've got the bill. You know what I mean? Now you're going to stab them in the back and be like, fuck you. We're deporting you? Do you know how cruel that is? So again, what people don't talk about often, because I guess people don't care, a lot of these groups, the Venezuelans that went to the fucking death camp in El Salvador, they had protected status. It got taken away by Donnie. Many groups this has happened to already. These weren't people that crossed the border just illegally to cause trouble or something. Refugees that came from many places that have been here for decades had protected status. They were allowed to be here. Now they're all being told, fuck you. We don't care if you bought a house 20 years ago here and you've assimilated. We're going to deport you or you leave on your own. Do you know how evil that is again? Such a shame. Concerning reports from Latin America, the New World screwworm, a parasite that devours living flesh, is advancing north, now in Mexico. Cattle, wildlife, and humans at risk. What else would you have in the apocalypse but a thing called a screw fucking worm that eats flesh? How soon till it gets to America? I can't fucking wait. This is Donnie talking about heaven the other day again. I've got the full kind of statement. I just want to read it. President Trump dialed into Fox and Friends on Tuesday morning and revealed his newest and truest motivation for brokering an end to the war in Ukraine. Not a Nobel Peace Prize. That wouldn't be Donnie's motivation at all, would it? He's worried he might not get into heaven after he dies. Here it is, the quote. I want to try and get to heaven if possible, he explained. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I am really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons. If he brokers peace in Ukraine, that's going to get him in. No, he doesn't want to get to heaven. He doesn't care about that. What he wants is the Nobel Peace Prize. That's why he's saying all this, most likely. But what a strange statement. Again, this is the Antichrist talking. And don't worry, you'll see that in time. I know it sounds crazy, even though, you got your own military has been turned against you. I know it sounds crazy. He will prove it in time. Don't worry. Hasn't he proven so much already of the things I said he was going to do? Of course he has. For some reason, I don't know why this happened. Bed Bath & Beyond, the chairman talks shit. Say they won't open any stores in Cali because of high taxes, high fees, and forced unsustainable wages. Yeah, right. No, the tariffs are taking way more than those wages ever would, and you people know it. So Bed Bath & Beyond, or what used to be Bed Bath & Beyond, and the chairman was talking shit on Callie and Gavin for some reason. They went bankrupt several years ago. They don't exist anymore. And here's Gavin, the company that already went bankrupt and closed every store across the country 2 years ago. Okay, right. Like, who are you? Like, you don't even exist anymore. I don't even know why this was done. I guess the former chairman or whatever he is of the store that doesn't exist, I guess he's a hardcore Republican. How'd that work out for him and his store? I'm sure he's still rich. I don't feel sorry for him. Probably just declared bankruptcy and the taxpayer probably covered it all in some way. Because millionaires love socialism. They love handouts, baby. It's their favorite. Dead Colorado cat tests positive for the plague, son. Did you hear me? A cat had the plague in Colorado. They found it dead. The plague, son. Okay, a Gavin post in Rube Speak. Look at the artwork. I seldom watch low-rated garbage man Greg Gutfeld, but when I do, I marvel at the fake laughter on the show. It sounds like a bad laugh machine. It's so obnoxious and disgusting. Just like him, always laughing no matter what is said. Real patriots hate it when Fox edits the tapes. Puts garbage man Greg on. Garbage man. Fox ought to get smart and not use losers like this. Also, they shouldn't allow negative ads about me. Thank you, GCN. I mean, it's a perfect Donnie imitation. You got to give it to him. It's flawless. Gavin Newsom, again, he's just listing some things here. And the reason he's talking about it is because Sony's raising the price of the PS5 by $50 because of Donnie's tariffs, literally. Donald Trump's America. Consumer price index has risen by 2.7%. Prices for takeout in restaurants has surged by 3.9%. Pre-owned cars and trucks price has increased by 4.8%. Electric bills up 10%. John Deere and others have announced layoffs. Companies from Sony to PepsiCo have announced price increases. Great work. Yeah, all this is true. And so much more. Again, this guy's here to burn it all down. You're watching it happen right before your eyes. And the rich ain't immune, son. Not this time. Whole empires going down in a matter of months. When, for a major corporation, if you got to put out $300 million for fucking tariffs every 6 months, you can't keep that going. You just can't. DHS's Tricia McLaughlin on painting the border wall black. We're making sure we're using U.S. taxpayer dollars well. This could have literally been a Saturday Night Live sketch. This is on Fox News. Here's Tricia, the good little propagandist always. Here's the workman painting the fence black. You know what I thought about when I saw this? Miss Nome, the puppy killer, she got her photo op in all her anorexic glory at the border painting the fence like Daniel saw. Here's what I thought when I thought about this for 2 seconds. I said Donnie had a business friend who has, I don't know, 2 trillion gallons of black paint he can't get rid of. So Donnie said, no problem, I can help you out. Here, and Donnie will get a kickback on this. That's why he wants to help him out. We'll charge the government, $100 million extra for the paint, whatever. We'll pocket most of it. And we'll say, I wanted to paint the fence black. That's how it works. Even if this was a real idea, Donnie just bought black paint. Every purchase will have a padding on top of it to go in the pocket. It's a mobster, son. One of the purest. He breathes it. He lives it. Every purchase by the government that he's involved with, there will be a padding. Same thing as he was standing next to Jerome Powell, saying the value went up a little bit. And Jerome's like, you added a building that was done years ago. That doesn't belong with this. That was Donnie padding the contract, baby. You add a little padding on every contract. You skim that right off, right in your pocket. Nobody knows. That's the mob, baby. That's how the mob works. We're making sure we're using U.S. taxpayer dollars well, because painting that fence black, that's a real good use of your money, right, Rubes? I'm sure it'll be real effective, too. Nah, Donnie had a buddy with a bunch of black paint he had to get rid of, and no one was buying it, so Donnie's like, we'll put an extra $5 million on it, we'll split it, or I'll take all of it, and we'll paint the fence with it. Again here, California resident tests positive for the plague after camping trip, son. What the fuck? I don't want to hear about no plague. The fuck is this, medieval times and shit? I'm talking about real medieval times. California resident tests positive for the plague after camping trip. Yesterday, nuclear shrimp. Today, a cat and a human with the fucking plague. Is this the beginning of a movie? All right, we are at the end. And we will end with a Gavin post in Rube Speak. It's a thesis. And I'm going to read every fucking word. Wow, Fox News can't stop talking about me, Gavin C. Newsom, America's favorite governor. Tonight, their entire primetime lineup was about me. Jesse Waters kept calling me daddy. Very weird, not interested, but thank you. Sean Hannity, very nice guy, nearly cried because I won't take his advice. Sorry, Sean. Then they dragged out the B team of dum-dums. Meatball Ron. Meatball Ron. Tommy Toilet Loren. And Teddy Cancun Cruz. He even flew back special from Mexico. All whining about me. GCN. They had to play the music to shut Ted up about my beautiful hair. I get it. So jealous. Total disaster. MAGA hates me because they hate you. They hate that California is the fourth biggest economy in the world. They hate that crime is down. That we're number one in farming. I love the farmers. Manufacturing, tourism, and tech. All while we give affordable health care. Free school meals. Make America pregnant again. Make America pregnant again. That's in parentheses. Paid baby leave for moms. They should not return anyways. $20 minimum wage. And so much more for the people. They hate that Democrats are winning. Fox and MAGA have Newsom derangement syndrome. Newsom derangement syndrome. Anyone that ever talks shit on Gavin Newsom, that's what you say to him. You know how many rubes I've heard had typed this at me, said this to me? Rubes out loud have said this to me. Trump derangement syndrome. You know what? If you don't like Gavin Newsom, if you don't love him, if you don't think he's a messiah, then you have Newsom derangement syndrome, son. That's you, son. That's been your existence, what I just did there. That's why your country is over. Because that was so many of your existence. Lies. The inversion of reality. Calling good evil and evil good. That is why your empire is over forever. As funny as Gavin is here. Not going to save the empire, unfortunately. Donnie's here to burn it down. Fox and MAGA have Newsom derangement syndrome. They should cry harder. Sad. GCN. Newsom derangement syndrome is the title of this video. You'll see that later. Yeah, so do you understand now, Rubes, what we've been going through with you? So for all you people that talk shit on Gavin Newsom all the time, I guess you must have Newsom derangement syndrome, right? That's what you said about all of us. No. That's not a thing. But Gavin was saying it in mockery. And anyway, people, I have to go. I'm very tired. As always, my final message, when the mark comes, you must not take it, no matter what it costs you. And pay attention to the lesson Gavin's trying to learn you, son. This is what we've witnessed, your behavior, what you've done for the past 10 years. Treat a man like a deity or something, when he's the exact opposite. He's the most corrupt thing I've ever seen. And he'll want your worship at some point. He already wants it now. Fuck. No one loves adoration like Donnie Shitbags. So when he offers you that mark, let's put the picture up. I'll close it out with the picture of it all burning down as the Antichrist walks away. Your empire. So appropriate for where we're at. So appropriate for what's going to happen. At the very least, though, when he offers you the mark, you can say, no, I probably won't even be alive by that point. They'll label me something. And as always, people, if you'd like to help out, PayPal at the top of the comment section. When this uploads in 7 hours. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Until the next episode, I will see you later.